Hello, and thank you for accepting our invitation to happiness. I'm here with my friends.
Hi, I'm Yushi.
Hi, I'm Dylan.
And we're here to bring you episode 4 of Invitation to Happiness, which will be on channeling and receiving insights from heaven.
Yes, and receiving insights from heaven is one of the greatest strengths here in Happy Science. So be prepared to write a lot of notes.
Yes, but before we dive into today's program, let's go to the streets of New York and ask the question, do you believe in guardian spirits and do you receive insights and inspirations from them? Let's take a look.
I'm hoping there's a guardian angel up there watching over me.
Yeah, I believe there's somebody who's out there looking out for you. I don't know if you can pinpoint who or what it is, but I think you can certainly get yourself out of situations and you feel as if someone's helped you along there somehow.
Maybe something like that, but no.
I do believe in guardian angels. I do believe in intuition because there's always a voice speaking inside of you.
I believe in them, but I don't know if I've had personal experience with them.
Cool. So we've heard a lot of, I think more people believe in them than not, or at least they want to. So I feel a positive reaction from New York.
Yeah, totally. And I guess it's because New York is a creative place. So if you're creative, you receive all these inspirations while doing work, right? But it's just that, is it that tangible feeling of, is it a guardian spirit or not?
Yeah, so we also have prayer to guardian and guiding spirits at Happy Science, and we receive a lot of inspiration through this prayer. So to learn more about this inspiration power, let's listen to Master's lecture about this very topic.
Future trends do not come out of nowhere. Their beginnings are bound to exist in the present. The hints and inspiration for future trends actually already exist in the world you live in what people say and think, and in the information you see in the papers, in magazines or on television. It is often the things that people have not yet paid attention to that become the seed of a new business. The future can be read in the present. The seeds of the future can be found in today. Always ask yourself what the seeds of tomorrow may be, what the seeds of coming industries may be, and search for them in the present. To do this, you need to be always on the lookout for new information and continue to do so. This attitude is vital. Information is necessary to the inventive process. You have to gather a lot of it. Yet at the same time, if you let the flood of information sweep you away, you will become unable to produce anything new. Overwhelmed with too much information, you will suffer indigestion. There is a sea of news to be read. It is the internet age. A lot of strange information can come into our phones. There are newspapers, televisions, DVDs, and CDs, and more. You could have all the time in the world, and it would still not be enough. But for the inventive process, information is essential. So what becomes important is how you live amidst the undulating waters of information today. To be more direct, those who master the ability to shut out and gather information at will are the inspirational ones. They are the ones who can do highly inspired creative work. So it is no good to not have any kind of time where information is blocked out. Each person should set aside time to unplug from frivolous information.
Very interesting. So, a lot of people are so busy on Instagram or on their phones or whatever, and they kind of clog up that energy of seeking.
We want to receive inspiration from heaven. We have to balance two things: receiving quality information without receiving too much information. And once these two come together, then we receive the pure inspiration.
Don't just haphazardly gather information, but look for the seeds of the future. Like, if you gather information with a specific purpose, what comes into your mind and what like the inspiration that like, you know, how the heavenly world will try to guide you in, it kind of like gets aligned.
Yeah, so it seems that heaven helps those who help themselves, right? And let's hear more about this topic in Master's next lecture. So let's listen.
There are many guiding spirits in the heavenly world, that is true. But certain conditions need to be met in order for these guiding spirits to give you their advice and guidance. To talk about myself, I don't do my work thinking that I'm going to receive inspiration or advice from the high spirits in heaven. I actually forget to do so most of the time. It's funny, but more often than not, it's actually when I have forgotten about it and working by my own efforts that it turns out that I'm being helped. This is truly a mysterious thing. When something is impossible without power from above, that power does not come down. But when I become able to handle it myself, even without power from other dimensions, I am flooded with it. I can only say that it is truly mysterious. It is similar to the time-honored saying, heaven helps those who help themselves. It really is very much like that. One characteristic of the spirit world is that you can see what is to come more quickly than you do in this world. You can certainly discover things for yourself, but you can also receive advice from the spirit world as you seek. How do you do that? First, seek earnestly, really earnestly. Next, you must have an unclouded mind. Basically, if you seek selflessly according to the principle of, my work must be done for the sake of others and of society, there will be a response. But a selfish pursuit, such as to live in luxury or look good, will not bring advice. If any, it might be from demons. This is why business management calls for spiritual discipline. Never forget to always put in your best work. But during our seminars or retreats, you can expect advice to come down to you if you seek heaven's help sincerely.
Yeah, and Master Alcala, right? He's getting the most inspiration of anyone in the entire world, maybe. And when he seeks for inspiration, he says it doesn't always come. But when he just makes efforts tirelessly, the inspiration just flows in like a flood. It's very surprising.
Once you start focusing on your own efforts, the heavenly help will come naturally. But what's important for that to actually happen is to have a pure mind, which will lead us to the next video. Let's take a look.
Here at Happy Science, in our overnight seminars, we practice gazing deeply into our mind in silence and solitary meditation. We learn to leave the tumults of this third dimension, the world of phenomena in which everyone lives, in order to liberate our heart to the higher dimensional worlds above the fourth dimension. We need to become aware of our soul that is inside our physical body, and then examine from this spiritual perspective whether we are living in a way that refines and improves the soul as we should be. This is important. One basic routine for doing this is to remove the pollution created by our mind through self-reflection. Just as how a glass window can get dirty, we accumulate a lot of dust and grime in this world. We need to do the work of cleaning our window by increasing the transparency of our mind. We can connect with the more refined vibrations of heaven. When you enter into deep meditation, you will be connected to a variety of worlds and see many things. You will be able to understand the workings of the minds of animals, as well as the thoughts and feelings of plants. Your consciousness will reach this far when you go deep, deep into meditation. Furthermore, even if someone is tens or hundreds of kilometers away, you can come to know their feelings if something triggers a connection. The understanding, oh, this is what this person is thinking about now, will come naturally to you. In my case, for instance, if I want to know what the president of a country is thinking right now, I'm able to do so. In much the same way that it is possible to go to a computer and access its information. I can understand what the person in question is thinking. Actually, if I take too much interest, I can end up with major information. It's problematic. In this way, by going deep within yourself, you can find a road that leads to an infinite universe. This is because within all of us is something that connects to each and every person.
So we all have something within us that connects us to every other person. And through spirituality and enlightenment, we can connect with other people and even know what they're thinking deep in their mind.
You know, coming to a place like a Happy Science temple or shoja, practicing meditation regularly is so important because you get the opportunity to unplug from your life and to plug in to the spirit world, which energizes you.
And one of our members, Jonathan, through prayers at our temple, he has experienced something great. So let's watch his interview.
The sutras is a way to attune ourselves to specific vibration of the mind. And so that's why for me, even before I became a devotee, I had already started memorizing the Dharma of the right mind, and I started reciting that sutra and the prayer to the Lord, prayer to guardian and guiding spirits, like every morning. The power of vocalizing this, the will of the Lord, is very magical. It's like the ritual aspect of it. It creates this spiritual field. Reciting them, even the ones you don't recite that often, it's like a helpful reminder that, you know, there's these treasures that we've been given, and it's up to us to do the work and to, you know, scrape away the dirt and find that treasure and be like, oh, this is my treasure. You know, the Lord gave me this treasure, so I'm gonna cherish it and I'm gonna keep it close. You know, the sutras are very powerful, for sure.
So up until now, we've been talking about how to receive insights and inspirations from heaven at an individual level. But as a modern savior, Master Ryuho Okawa, what kind of insights is he receiving? In the earlier lecture, I think he was talking about when he goes deeply into his mind, he can hear the words of the world leaders. In the next clip, we will be watching Master Ryuho Okawa accessing the guardian spirit of the President of the United States of America.
I spiritually researched his past life in Japan, and at the time he declared that he was the first president of the United States, George Washington. He said so. It means he will rebuild this America again. Donald Trump would change their diplomatic policy because he is a thinkable man, and he will think the foreign policy from scratch, and he think the world balance from the standpoint of equalness and fairness. Donald Trump think that the tariff system, I mean the import tax systems, is one of the weapons for diplomacy. He thinks so. And it means, for example, he can use high tax rate for China if he doesn't like their foreign policy. Donald Trump will realize low tax policy. I think so. It's essential for the reverse of the United States.
Excellent, right? So Master Okawa, he researched the past life of Donald Trump, and he found he was the first president of the United States, George Washington. And he found all this information out in January of 2016. So he predicted that President Trump would win the election 11 months before the election started. He predicted that Trump would overturn the world order and start the foreign policy from scratch. So everything he predicted was actually realized completely.
Including the tax cuts too.
You know, maybe channeling might be a new concept for some people, but it's a huge part of Happy Science. Master Okawa has channeled now to date about 1,000, right? Or has given 1,000 different spiritual messages to date from different leaders in politics, entertainment. Why does he do this? Well, basically, you can think of it as spiritual investigation or spiritual journalism to get the truth, which is the main purpose of journalism, right? So in this sense, spiritually, we are trying to get and investigate the truth and find out what these leaders have in mind and how they're going to build our future. So next, let's watch a clip about what Master Okawa predicted about the leader of China.
China's next anticipated president, Xi Jinping's guardian spirit. Come to the general headquarters of Happy Science and reveal your true intentions.
Is this Xi Jinping's guardian spirit?
Yes, that's right.
Thank you for coming to the Prayer Hall of Happy Science General Headquarters today.
You have come to pay tribute, haven't you? I knew you would.
Who might you be?
Me?
You mentioned emperor, so...
Do you want to know?
Yes.
I'm Genghis Khan.
Oh, so Xi Jinping's past life was Genghis Khan?
Yes, I'm his reincarnation. It's quite plausible, isn't it? I am the president of China, after all.
That's why you mentioned the Mongolian Empire earlier.
Yes, I am Genghis Khan. That is precisely why the age of China is coming. The spirit of the time resides within me, and my views will rule the world. He's quite a major figure. The world's greatest politician has made his appearance. I think he is aiming to end the age of America. Essentially, in 2020, Xi is clearly aiming to end the period of American rule. We have discovered his objective. In a totalitarian country, the people are sacrificed for the sake of their country. In a democratic country, it is the duty of the country to realize the happiness of its people. In this sense, a totally different culture and civilization exist here in Taiwan from that of mainland China. You don't need to fight for its independence. Your country has grown as a separate independent nation. It is a country of its own. In October 2008, Lord Alcantara, Master Ruho Okawa, visited Taiwan and gave a lecture entitled Realization of Buddha Land Utopia. Since that lecture in 2008, I kept reflecting to know if Taiwan and China are destined to be one country. The gap between us is so huge. With a free democratic country on one side and a communist country on the other side, how could these two parties be one country? Taiwan is indeed quite dependent economically on China, but the philosophy of the people and political management between us are quite different. In March 2019, Master came back again to Taiwan. In fact, at that time when Master came to Taiwan, last year, popularity of the President Tsai Ing-wen was quite low. But surprisingly, after Master's lecture in June, her popularity has considerably recovered. I believe Master's lecture has a great influence not only in Japan but also in the US or the Republic of China, Taiwan.
So you know how Master went to Taiwan in 2019 March to give a lecture, and he clearly stated that Taiwan is already a country, a separate sovereign country from China. And guess what? The president of Taiwan, in an exclusive interview with BBC, what she said was the same exact thing Master said, and that was a couple months after Master's lecture. So this power of insight that the modern savior has, it's reaching a level where it's actually concretely influencing all of the political leaders in the world.
Master Okawa has the ability to plan or see and really give us an insight of the future of what's going to happen. So that's the ability of a savior. He's here to give us a future, give us hope.
These were just two examples of the 1,000 spiritual messages that Master Okawa has given us. But I hope you feel the importance of it. So, in the last part of today's episode, we'll be watching a lecture excerpt from Master's lecture, Toward the Age of New Prosperity. And again, it is very important, I believe, to listen to the words of the modern savior. So please take these words, listen to them deeply, and take it into your souls.
There is something we have overlooked about the computer age. We may have all expected that computers would help to improve the economy, lower manufacturing costs, increase corporate profits, enable companies to expand, and of course increase national tax revenue. Unfortunately, however, this computer-based society is leading us toward totalitarianism. We have finally just now noticed that. In nearby China, there will be one surveillance camera for every 2 citizens by 2022. In some systems, the conclusion comes first and no other approaches are accepted. If a system like this were to control people using these kinds of advanced modern technologies, then the people would end up getting harmed by the very technologies they themselves have created. It has become necessary to launch a resistance movement. We should not be so sure about having so much faith in machines. Rather, it is necessary to present opposing value systems. We should highly praise work done by hand. We should praise new things that were created by people thinking and producing ideas. And among these, we should recognize that the creations that are filled with love for humanity are the ones that have value. Times when efficient, uniform mass production are possible are not the only good times. In a world like that, all of you will lose to computers, robots, and AI. And it will lead to a future in which these technologies will be like fortune tellers determining people's lives. You already see it happening in the medical field. Are you not deciding whether to give birth to your baby or not based on a prenatal diagnosis? Although a baby is a gift from God, The decision is made based on computer diagnosis. Some which conclude that the embryo should be terminated as early as possible. However, computers don't know God. Computers don't know the soul. Computers don't know the true nature of humans or their life before they were born into this world, or how humans continue to live in the next world after death. It is fine for computers which ignore these essential values to serve humankind. But if humankind were to serve computers, then it would mean the end of the age of humans.
Just to be clear, Happy Science does not hate any countries, but we strongly oppose totalitarianism, which is what this computer society could lead to. This is Master Okawa's prediction.
Yes, and we want freedom for all beings of this planet Earth. And the fact that the Savior is on Earth right now.
At Happy Science, you can see the future. So I welcome you to our temples to come take a read of Master's books. This is just not information. It is vital wisdom, I believe, to open up a bright future. We hope to see you at our temples.
If you would like to learn more about Okawa and the teachings of Happy Science, visit invitationtohappiness.org or call us at 929-323-4737. Here at New York Temple, you'll find all of Okawa's publications and video lectures. We are here to support you in building a bright future. Come join us for weekly Sunday workshops and weekday guided meditations. Also, please find us on Facebook and YouTube by searching Happy Science New York. Your happiness is our mission. Once again, thank you for accepting our invitation to happiness. On our next episode, we'll be exploring the secrets of healing power. See you next time.